That's it.
Okay, so we're on week 3 now, yeah? So I've done the 2 weeks of rest and recovery, and starting the week 3 off with a visit to the hospital to take my stitches out, see what my wound is like, and then also see the physio and see what he recommends and tells me what the situation is with my knee. So I'm hoping that they can say that it's in a good state and we can move on and become a bit more active and possibly do a bit more work on the leg or even training. So let's see what they say. I just said I hope it's not painful.
No, you won't. You might feel me just pulling it out a little bit. But,
No problem.
so
that's what I would
that's the damage. Yeah.
Right.
2 little holes.
2 holes.
Are you okay if I
Yeah,
take those sutures out then? You'd worry. There you are. That's it.
How's that looking?
All fine. I just wanted to plaster on just to go for 24 hours because those are quite deep, those sutures.
Right, okay.
Just give those holes a little bit of time.
No problem. Oh wow, yeah, there's a nice cut there. Okay, so let's recap the hospital appointment. The stitches were taken out by the nurse. The wound is deeper than what she thought, but she said it looks fine. I've met the physio and he said, based on the assessment of the knee, the operation looked like a good operation. The knee is intact. It looks quite strong. The 2 weeks of exercises that I've done, he's checked them out and he said, yeah, the leg straightens good, the quad strength is good. So he's happy with all that. He's happy with where my knee is at. However, he advised not to do more than what I'm doing. He advised that I need to keep my weight off that leg as much as possible. He has given me new exercises, and one of the exercises will be balancing on one leg for 30 seconds. But he has advised that I stay off my leg as much as possible, and he's asked me to continue with the crutches to even small distances so I don't put a lot of weight on my leg. That's where we're at. He's given me 4 new exercises, so I'm going to run them through with you as well. But it's not as active as I thought I would be. So the frustrating thing is I'm going to have to continue the rest and recovery like the last 2 weeks and just do a little bit more than what I can. And I think this is where the mental challenge and the mental game kicks in, and I'm going to be challenged mentally. So I'm going to have to start thinking of ways to what things that I can do while resting at home. I did ask about if I can go to the gym and train upper body. He said you can do, but keep the weight off your leg. Get somebody to give you the weights, get somebody to take the weights away, which can be quite frustrating because obviously you want to be training with people and they do their own thing, we do our own thing, we're training together. I don't want people to keep passing me the weight, taking away weight off me. So I'm going to have to see what I can do, even from home. Maybe just do a bit of work at home. But he has given me 4 new exercises, so I'm going to go through them with you, and I'll just see how it goes, and I'll keep you posted. So he's asked me to do some exercises twice a day, morning and night. And this first exercise is to balance on one leg for 30 seconds for 4 sets. And while balancing, you've got to really tense your glutes, because a lot of this work is on your glutes and your lower back and your hamstrings. So even though I've injured my knee, there's a big emphasis on strengthening your glutes, strengthening the hamstrings, strengthening your lower back. So when you're doing the exercise, you've got to really focus on that glute area, focus on your back leg, and really squeeze so you're really benefiting from the exercise. So I'm doing this for both legs. He did say to train the other leg as well, don't just ignore it, because there's studies that say that if you train the other leg, it helps the injured leg as well. So you'll see me doing both legs in these exercises. So this is the second exercise where he's got me sitting down, feet together, knees out wide, and tilting to one side and really stretching that one side. If you really focus on this, you can feel the benefit. And it's these little things that we don't really do on a day-to-day basis. So when we do them, you do feel the work being done. So the third exercise is a bridge. So he's got me resting on my heels, my toes up, and really thrusting into the air and tensing the hamstring, the glutes again. A lot of people don't train their glutes properly, so they can result into a lot of issues with lower back pain, knee pain, hip pain, etc. So focusing on your glutes, really tensing them, really strengthening them, does help your posterior chain, which is all along the back. And the last exercise, which was a tricky one, because I've never really done this, so you lie down completely on your side and you turn your hips forward so everything's facing forward, and then send your leg straight back and lift it sideways, so you really feel the side of your glutes, the hip area, while the other knee is lifted up as well. So you got to make sure your leg, when you're lifting it up, it doesn't rotate outwards. So keep it straight, keep your toes pointed, and really lift that up so as far as you can. And that's where it will go. It won't go any further. You'll see the stress on my face, because this is something, this works an area that we generally ignore in normal training. So it's important to train these little stabilizer muscles, the hip, the glutes, the stabilizers muscle on the back, etc. And if anything, I'm going to be sure to have a good strong glute by the end of this recovery period. Then out of nowhere, I just hit a wall. I went through some days of feeling down, demotivated, realizing the extent of the injury, the recovery time, and also the pace I was going at as well. And then one of the days I just twisted my knee and I felt a lot of pain in my knee. So these days were challenging. I couldn't even bother to record anything, document anything, but I had to snap out of it. So because I knew if I didn't snap out of it, then who would? So I started back doing the exercises, reminding myself how important they were to get me back to the best version of myself. I also started to do other tasks, paperwork, accounts, and also planning for the future as well. What shows I'm going to do, what challenges, what training sessions, etc. Because this is helpful for motivating yourself when you're down. And then I realised that not just looking after my knee is going to help me, but my nutrition and diet and everything is going to help as well. So I needed to get rid of the bad habits and put in some good food into my body. So I changed up some of the stuff I was eating. I had to get rid of the comfort food, the nice cereals, the crisps, etc. And then I had to go back to what I normally do, is have a high protein diet with fruits and clean food, trying to keep to less processed food but organic food. But to be honest, I wasn't always perfect. I still had a takeaway here, but I trying to eat a nice high, peri grilled chicken, etc. And then obviously England game was on, so you had to support them with a good old traditional fish and chips. So the diet isn't perfect, but I'm trying to get more good stuff into my body, high protein. And then obviously I had back to my porridge with protein, almond milk and dark chocolate, which is a all year round breakfast for me as well. So look after yourself, eat well, it'll do you good. And if you want some more information about what I ate, health eating, etc., then drop me a comment and I can do a video on what I eat, break it down for you in terms of what a high protein diet looks like, etc. So let me recap the last 2 weeks for you. So it started off good, started off positive. I was focused, got the stitches taken out, got new exercises, I was focused with them. And then I hit this period of a bit of a mental block, which shows that that is real and it can affect anyone. So it totally come out of the blue, and then obviously coming out of that, having that motivation, visualizing, this is an important part of staying focused. So having that motivation to do things, visualizing where you want to be, etc. And then also realizing that recovery isn't just physical. So it's not all about just the exercises. I've got to eat well. I've got to take out the bad foods. I've got to have foods that will help reduce the inflammation, for example. So getting the turmeric in with the black pepper, etc., and stuff like that. And also, just knowing that mental strength is a big part of this as well. So, I always thought that I was, quite mentally strong, and alhamdulillah, I have been. But even a mentally strong person can be challenged in this situation, because this is the first time I've had an operation, first time I'm going through a recovery this long. So obviously it shows that it can affect anyone. So that's what the last 2 weeks has been about. My tips that I've learned over the last 2 weeks is that you've got to be patient and realistic as well. So for example, if the doctors and physios have told you 6 weeks to recovery, then accept that. Don't try and prove them wrong and get back within 2 weeks. And a lot of people have this problem. I do as well, if I'm honest with you. I want to prove people wrong and I want to get back in early. So it's a lesson for me to actually think, just accept it. If they said 6 weeks to heal, then allow that time to heal, because you will heal properly then. By coming back too soon, you might get back, but the healing process will be compromised. So allow that time to heal. Then one thing is you can plan things. Plan what you can do. Now obviously I can't run around and jump around and exercise as much, or do what I can, but do things where you can. Sit in a home, do things, get things together, Put a little structure together, put a routine together, like you would do on a normal day. So in my normal day, I have a structure. I know what I'm doing. As soon as I wake up, I know what I'm doing. So this is the same. You got to put a structure together, put a routine together to help you through that recovery. So for example, I know I got to pray 5 times a day. So that's the only real thing that's structured into my day. When it's time for prayer, I pray. So I should do the similar with everything else as well. So I would say put a routine together, just like you would do in a normal day as well. But key point here is don't overdo it. Remember, the key thing is rest and recovery. Another tip I think is that listen to your body. Yeah. So with me, I had some exercises and I thought, yeah, I'm going to crack on. Even before the last appointment, I was already thinking about going to the gym. I was already thinking about doing a lot more walking. And then once I started these new exercises, once I got into week third week, and I realised, no, my knee isn't where I thought it was. So then you got to listen to your body, and there's a key point here that listen to your body and adapt accordingly as well. And that's what I had to do. And then going into the next 2 weeks, that's what I'm going to try and focus on as well. The other thing as well is, if you do decide to go out, so this week I have decided to go out a bit more for a walk, etc. So, if you do decide to go out, don't get carried away. Do remember that you are injured, you are in recovery, and take things slowly. Don't rush things. Just don't get carried away. And the other tip for me is, since the last week that I realised, is that no matter what goes on, no matter what situation you're in, what mood you're in, don't stop the exercises. Okay, because continuing the exercises, this is about building yourself, and even on the days that you're down, by doing the exercises, you're breaking that cycle of feeling low, feeling down. So it breaks it up. So similar to my namaz, it breaks up my day because I know I've got to do it. So treat the exercises like that as well. So it breaks up that momentum of feeling low, feeling down, and then you can build on that as well. So remember why you're doing the exercises. You're not forced to do them. You want to do them because you want to be back to where you want to be. So that's a recap, and that's my tips for the last 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, I'll let you know what goes on. I do got to go to the physio again, so I'll update you on the physio, and I am aiming to get back in the gym to start some training in the gym to get back to the environment of the gym. So stay tuned.